The movie opens with a blinding flash across the night sky, an explosion so massive it shatters 70% of the moon. Its glowing fragments drift silently toward Earth, leaving the world in fear. On the ground, Japan's entire military rushes to confront the unknown attacker. Tanks fire, planes roar, missiles scream toward their target. But nothing works. The creature moves faster than the human eye can follow. In moments, every soldier falls to its swirling golden tentacles. It resembles an enormous yellow octopus, and now its next destination is Earth itself. Far away in Kanugi Village stands a prestigious junior high school, famous for strict discipline and impossible standards. Students who shine academically remain on the main campus. But anyone who struggles, even in a single subject, is isolated in Class 3, a small building nearly a kilometer away. It's known as the Last Chance Class, a place where failing students are quietly forgotten. Yet inside this lonely classroom stands the same alien who destroyed the moon, a bright yellow creature with a constant smile. His name is Korosensei, and he calmly announces his plan. He will destroy the entire Earth by next March. But before doing so, he wants to enjoy a full year teaching this class. Tadaomi Karasuma, a stern officer from the Ministry of Defense, arrives to explain the situation. He tells the students that Korosensei is the fastest being alive, able to move at over 23,000 kilometers per hour. And now, the mission of Class 3 is simple: eliminate him before next year. To help them, the government provides special weapons, completely harmless to humans, but dangerous to the yellow creature. Anyone who succeeds will receive an extraordinary reward of 10 billion yen. The amount is enough to awaken courage and hidden ambition in every student. A well-known international operative named Irina Jelovich is brought in to assist. She attempts her own surprise attacks, but even her most skilled tactics fail. Eventually, she becomes the English teacher of Class 3, and the room earns a new title, the Assassination Classroom. Every day, dozens of attempts fly toward Korosensei. Bullets, traps, strategies. But nothing can touch him. He dodges everything with effortless speed and cheerful laughter. Among the students is Nagisa Shioda, quiet, gentle, and often overlooked. But Nagisa possesses something no one else does: extraordinary observation. He writes down every detail of Korosensei's habits, searching for the perfect opening. One day, a few mischievous classmates decide to use Nagisa for a risky plan. They give him a hidden blade and push him to approach the teacher. Nagisa walks forward calmly, trying not to tremble. But Korosensei notices instantly. With a soft smile, he drops the blade from Nagisa's hand as if it weighs nothing. Nagisa pretends to apologize with a hug, but inside his shirt is a hidden device. At that moment, his classmates trigger it from behind. A sudden blast erupts. Smoke fills the room. Nagisa collapses, injured. The students cheer, convinced they finally defeated the creature. But when the smoke clears, a terrifying truth appears. Korosensei hangs from the ceiling, completely unharmed, smiling calmly. As he descends, his bright skin shifts to a deep red, glowing with anger. He warns the class that they violated the official agreement. Only government-approved weapons may be used. Any other method breaks the rules, and if it happens again, he will go after their loved ones. Fear spreads through the room. The students finally understand why he is called the one who cannot be defeated. Time passes. Korosensei sits outside the classroom one afternoon, enjoying a book. The students strike again, trapping him in a massive net and firing non-stop. Yet with one swift movement, he slips free and appears on the rooftop, safe once again. A new student then arrives, Karma Akabani, brilliant, sharp-minded, and known for his fierce nature. He once caused trouble in Class A, leading to his transfer to Class 3. When Karma greets Korosensei with a handshake, Korosensei suddenly jolts in pain, hidden blades in Karma's palm. The class gasps. Karma is the first student to ever make the creature flinch. Everyone believes Karma will be their greatest hope. He sets traps, tricks, and strategies, but even he fails. Frustrated, Karma sits alone outside the classroom. Nagisa joins him, and Karma quietly reveals that he never cared about the reward. He came only because he wants to save the Earth. Korosensei overhears their conversation. He approaches gently. Karma looks at him and asks with a steady voice, "Are you truly a teacher, or are you just pretending to care?" With that question, Karma steps off the edge of the hill, completely convinced that Korosensei will decide in that moment what kind of being he really is. He believed that if Korosensei truly cared, he would come for him. So when Karma let himself fall from the cliff, he was ready, his hand steady on his hidden weapon, prepared to strike the moment Korosensei reached him. And Korosensei did reach him. In the blink of an eye, he spun a soft, glowing web beneath Karma, catching him gently before he hit the ground. Karma's trap failed, but something far more important was revealed. This yellow creature wasn't just a threat. He was a teacher who cared deeply for his students, even while protecting himself from danger. The world, however, saw none of this. Far away in Japan's military headquarters, urgency filled every room. More than 2 months had passed since the lunar disaster. Nations around the world were furious, placing pressure on Japan to put an end to this threat. But laws and international agreements prevented direct military action. And so, the impossible responsibility remained in the hands of Class 3E. Countries stood ready with missiles. But Japan waited, hoping these students would succeed. Tadaomi Karasuma stood before his senior officer and admitted the truth. We need someone among these students who can guide the rest, because up until now, they haven't been able to eliminate him. Soon a new student was assigned to Class 3E, an advanced artificial intelligence named Ritsu. She wasn't human. She was a system built for one purpose: to defeat Korosensei. Ritsu activated instantly, locking onto Korosensei's movements and unleashing non-stop fire. The explosions rattled the classroom. Korosensei dodged everything with impossible speed, but the students barely escaped the chaos. They hid under their desks as bullets tore through the walls. Fed up with the danger, the class finally wrapped Ritsu in tape and chains so she could no longer risk their lives. But Korosensei returned calmly. He approached the restrained AI and told her gently that anger and wild attacks would never succeed. If she could think clearly, plan with the students, and work as part of a team, she would stand a chance. He even shared the personal data of every student to help her understand them. The next morning, Ritsu changed. She greeted the students warmly, spoke with emotion, and even created a special app that appeared automatically on everyone's phones. A way to stay connected, share ideas, and plan new strategies to defeat Korosensei. For the first time, she felt like a real classmate. But peace didn't last long. One day, a strange boy named Itona walked into the classroom alongside his trainer. He introduced himself as Korosensei's sibling, stronger, faster, and able to destroy him in a single strike. From his body, sharp tentacles appeared, glowing with the same mysterious technology as Korosensei. His trainer announced that Itona's abilities could surpass Korosensei's speed. Hearing this, Korosensei's smile faded. His eyes hardened. He couldn't tell if Itona was truly related to him, but the thought left him unsettled. The battle began. Korosensei underestimated him, and in those early moments, Itona proved himself stronger. His movements were precise, relentless, and devastating. But Korosensei, angered and pushed to his limit, struck once with tremendous force, launching Itona out of the school grounds in a single blow. The trainer kept his promise and took Itona away, but the class wasn't happy. Itona, dangerous as he was, had earned their strange admiration. Later, as the students sat together, they finally asked Korosensei the question they'd held for so long. "Sir, what's your real reason for teaching us?" Korosensei paused and then answered softly, "I'm fulfilling a promise I made to someone." And slowly, the bond between teacher and students deepened. Soon, he organized a special training camp. Each child received custom training in the subject they struggled with most. Korosensei moved at maximum speed, guiding them, correcting them, shaping them into stronger versions of themselves. But he remained comically shy, especially when the students asked him about his romantic past. The moment the girls questioned his love story, he fled into the night, embarrassed. A new instructor soon arrived, a harsh soldier named Akira. He replaced Tadaomi temporarily. At first, he seemed cheerful, but his true nature appeared quickly. His training was cruel. He pushed the students beyond their limits, especially those who seemed weak. During one session, a young girl nearly collapsed from exhaustion. Akira berated her, claiming she would never face the alien like this. His threats became too much, and just as he was about to harm her further, Tadaomi returned. Anger clashed between the two men. Akira challenged him, "If any student here can overpower me, I'll leave." Tadaomi trusted his students completely, and he chose Nagisa. Nagisa stepped forward with calm eyes and an innocent smile. His small frame and quiet presence made Akira underestimate him instantly. That was Nagisa's strength. With one swift movement, Nagisa approached silently, and in the next moment, Akira was on the ground, defeated. The room fell silent. As promised, Akira had no choice but to leave. Days passed. Korosensei continued teaching. The students pushed themselves harder than ever. Then one afternoon, heavy rain poured across the mountains surrounding the school. The wind howled through the classroom windows, and Korosensei slowly stepped outside into the storm. His body began to swell strangely under the heavy rain. Nagisa noticed first the trembling, the unusual ripples across Korosensei's skin. And in that moment, Nagisa realized something no one else had ever seen. Korosensei had a weakness. He was sensitive to water. The next day, Okuda approached him with a special drink, believing she had finally created something that would stop him. But instead of harming him, the mixture only boosted his energy. The class groaned in disbelief. Their frustration spilled out at once. "What's the point of studying when we can earn 10 billion just by defeating you?" Korosensei led the entire class to the field. His expression was gentle but firm. "Every student should have a backup plan, and your backup is your education. If you cannot defeat me, your future will rely on what you learn now." Then, with a single wave of his tentacle, he showed them how easily he could slip into military systems, how quickly he could dismantle the world's most advanced defenses. "If you want to stand against me, you must excel in every field." Final exams were approaching. Korosensei made a promise. "Whoever tops in 5 subjects will earn a chance to cut my tentacles." A chance, not just to weaken him, but to move closer to their goal. Excitement surged through the class. They studied relentlessly. Korosensei guided them day and night, teaching, training, pushing each one to grow. He even whisked them on a breathtaking trip into space, showing them a world far beyond their imaginations. The exams came and went. Days later, Korosensei revealed the results. 6 students had received first division. Nagisa excelled in English, Okuda in science, Karma in math. Others shined in their own subjects. Those 6 would now earn their chance. The day arrived. Korosensei was restrained. Nagisa knew his weakness well. The students transformed the entire area into a giant water zone. They fired continuously, confident they could finally reach him. But suddenly, a thunderous blast erupted. The students were thrown to the ground. Korosensei had shifted into his absolute form, a transparent sphere, his body tiny inside, glowing with intense energy. At that moment, several students began collapsing with high fevers. Panic filled the air. A jeep screeched to a halt. Akira stepped out. He had returned for vengeance. He revealed that he had mixed a dangerous substance into their water earlier. Without an antidote, the students would grow weaker by the hour. Within 3 days, they would not survive. And Akira held the antidote. He looked at Nagisa with a twisted smile. "The way you caught me that day still keeps me awake. So now I'll trouble you. I'll give you the antidote. But you must hand over Korosensei." He wanted the government reward for himself. And he wasn't alone. He had brought Itona with him, now working under his control. Korosensei whispered to Nagisa, urging him to stay calm. Itona attacked fiercely. Tadomi shielded Nagisa and was injured. Karma grabbed Nagisa and ran. Itona chased them up a tall tower, determined to capture Korosensei at any cost. But suddenly, rain began to fall. Just like Korosensei, Itona was weakened by the water. Nagisa seized the moment. With steady hands, he severed the glowing strands on Itona's body. Itona collapsed, his strength fading. They climbed down the tower. Ritsu appeared on the screens and informed them that Akira had also taken a girl hostage. Nagisa devised a clever trick, using a decoy sphere to distract Akira. The entire class attacked together, defeating Akira and his group. Okuda had already prepared an antidote, and the students were saved. Afterward, the Japanese army arrived. They took custody of the students who had come dangerously close to defeating Korosensei. The officers thanked Class 3E, because through their bravery, the world remained safe. Korosensei was placed inside a chamber filled with thousands of rubber projectiles designed to end his life quickly. He looked at his students and spoke softly. "I am grateful that if this is my last moment, it is at the hands of my own students. You are bright, strong, and destined for greatness." Tears filled their eyes. They regretted everything. He wasn't just a teacher, he was someone who had changed their lives. Then, through the haze of emotion, a hand reached out. Korosensei gently touched Nagisa's shoulder and offered her a handkerchief to wipe her tears. Relief swept across the room. Their teacher was still alive. The army decided he could not be eliminated. Instead, he would remain as the teacher of Class 3E. And so, the lessons continued. Itona, humbled and weakened, joined the class as a new student. Korosensei stood among them with a gentle smile, a smile filled with warmth, hope, and quiet mystery. In the students' eyes, there was no longer fear or ambition, only respect, only gratitude, only love for the teacher who taught them not just about study, but about life, courage, and connection. And so their journey continued, a journey of friendship, strength, and the unbreakable bond between a teacher and his students. And if you too want to feel how powerful friendship, courage, and the bond between a teacher and students can be, then subscribe and join the journey of Class 3. Because this isn't just a story, it's a true example of life, learning, and the kind of love that changes people forever.